Hello my dear student, are you feeling well at your home? So today we are taking in continuation of the definite integral, we discuss the property of the definite integral. There are some property of the definite integral by which we can solve the definite integral easily. Let's see. So with the help of the property we can easily solve the definite integral. So complicated form of integral is given, then we use these property to convert into simple integral form. So let's we see one by one these properties. Now first part says P0 property, integral from a to b fx dx is also equal to a to b ft dt. So the here we say variable may be any, it may be x or t. Clear? So like here in proof if you write P0, left hand side is a to b fx dx. So if we put x equal to t, directly we can put variable x as a t. So when x equal to a, then t is also a, x equal to b, then t is also b, and if you differentiate then dx equal to dt. So now this integral will convert after substitution. Here x equal to a, then t is also a, x equal to b, then t is also b, and we put x as a t, also dx as a dt. So this directly we can say here the variable may be any. So that's why in integral we always call variable a dummy. Clear? Clear? Variable is dummy. So there is, you can put any variable like x can be replaced by z or y or t, and our requirement of the problem we can write as the variable. So this is the proof of the first identity. Now second say, second what say P1, this is known as P1, left side you see AB fx dx. So if you solve by fundamental theorem of calculus, integral a to b fx dx is equal to fb minus fe, value of antiderivative and upper limit minus value of antiderivative and lower limit. Now if you take minus here common, in this we take minus 12 common, then this is plus. So fa minus fb. So now minus, and here now if you use this fundamental theorem in reverse order, so here now this is a positive and this is negative. So by the definition of the definite integral, we call this is the upper limit and this is the lower limit. So if you write in the form of definite integral, then this is integral from the upper is a and lower is b. So fx dx. So what we get, minus b to a fx dx. So you may call here P1 property what says integral from a to b fx dx can be also written as or rewritten as minus of interchanging the limits. Upper limit can be converted into lower limit and lower limit can be converted into upper limit. Only we have changed the sign of the integration. So in some cases when we need this type of a problem, then you can easily interchange the limit with the change of the sign. Clear? Then you say property P2, a to b fx dx should be equal to a to say fx dx plus c to b fx dx. Means you can break the limits in two parts. Here we are given integral from a to b fx dx, a to c and c to d, where c lies between the a and b. So now we solve the right hand side and put this equal to left hand side. So if we are considering the right hand side, that is a to c integral of function fx dx plus c to b fx dx. So you can say that capital F be the antiderivative of f, then by fundamental theorem of calculus, with the help of fundamental theorem, this first integral antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at lower limit. So you can say antiderivative is capital F at c minus capital at a. This first integral we write as antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at lower limit. Plus again here also you can use the second integral fundamental theorem of calculus, that is fb minus fc. So if you solve these two, you can say here f of c and minus f of c will cancel out. So finally what we get? fb minus fa, and which is the value of integral from d to a fx dx, which is equal to left hand side. Clear? fb minus fa, that is the definition for the definite integral antiderivative at upper limit minus antiderivative at the lower limit. So in this way what we can say? So if we are given a definite integral with the limit a to b, then this can be written as sum of two definite integral. We are taking a new point between these two limit a and b, or in between interval a and b we take a c, such that a to c integral of fx dx plus c to b fx dx. So in this way we can prove this identity or property third. Or P3 is there. Now we may go for the P4. So for P4, as you already said, we are taking the right hand side. So before that we have P3. This property we have to prove. So third you take P3. Here we want to prove a to b fx dx is equal to a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So we take right hand side here and we prove it equal to left hand side. So a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Here we get a plus b minus x as a t. We suppose this whole as a t, a plus b minus x as a t. Now if you find the derivative of this, derivative a constant 0, b is 0, constant derivative minus x is minus dx. So one may write dx can be replaced by minus dt. Now also we change the limit according to new variable. So when x, this is the x equal to a and x equal to b. So you may write when x equal to a. So put here a. So what will be t? Here a minus a cancel. So t will be b. And when x equal to b. If you take x equal to b, then b is cancel. T equal to a. So now right hand side can be written as now new limit when x equal to a, t is b. So b, and when x equal to b, t equal to a. F of, now this whole we are substituting as a t. And dx can be replaced by minus dt. So what we get? B to A ft dt and minus. So now see what we get, minus of integral from B to A. So we have property for minus. Minus integral from B to A fx dx can be written as A to B fx, means you can interchange the limit. So minus will be removed. Correct? So now this can be written as A to B fx ft dt by using P1. Using property first, this limit can be interchanged, then the sign will be minus minus plus. Now again by P0. What say P0? A to B ft dt is also equal to A to B fx. So we can write A to B fx dx, which is equal to left hand side and center. So what we call, this is very important property. You may write integral from A to B fx dx as A to B f of a plus b minus x. So whenever you are using this, the integrate will be converted into very easy form or simplest form, and then you can easily prove this or find the values of the definite integral. For that we can easily see that. Now this P4 is the particular case of this one, third, because here limit a convert into 0 and b as a. So you may prove, or this is the particular case of the 4. The third, so you can write P4 property as 0 to a fx dx, 0 to a f of a minus x. So this is also similar to P3. So we take right hand side first, 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So we put a minus x as t, right? So derivative of this will be minus dx equal to dt, or dx equal to minus dt. Now we can also value a limit when x equal to 0. This is similar to third property, x equal to 0 here. So a to t equal to a. When x equal to a, x equal to a for t, a minus a, so t is 0. So you can write this limit as a to 0. Now f of a minus x as t and dx as minus dt. So minus you take outside. Now again you can use the P1. Here minus a convert into this. So here minus is already there, so we can change the limit. If you interchange the limit, then the sign will also change. So here 0 to a ft by P1 using property P1. Now again you can use P0. A B ft dt can be written as this. So this is equal to 0 to a fx dx by P0, which is equal to left hand side. Hence true. So in this way one may prove this, and this property is very important because many problems, or 50% of the problem, we have to use this P4, which is very helpful for converting the given integrate in very simplest form. Clear? That's why we need of this. Then you have P5. P5 says 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. 0 to 2a, this is 2a, 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x. So now by using the properties P2, yes say what say P2, integral from a to b fx dx can be broken into two parts, a to c and c to a. So this function remains same. So here 0 to a can be converted into 0 to a and a to 2a in two parts. So you can say left hand side equal to, that is 0 to 2a fx dx can be written as 0 to a fx dx, a to 2a fx dx. Here you are using P2. This property second, we are using property second, 0 to a fx dx plus a to 2a fx dx. So by using P2, now we can put this as a t. Then we say t equal to, let t equal to 2a minus x, because on the right hand side we need 2a minus x. That's why we are putting in second integral. In the second integral we substitute this. So dt equal to minus dx or dx equal to minus dt. Also when x equal to a, this is a, so here put x equal to a, then t also is 2a minus a, 2a minus a, and x equal to 2a, then t equal to 0. So now this can be written as 0 to a fx dx plus, now a, x equal to a, t equal to also a, but when x equal to 2a, t equal to 0, so this is 0. And x we are replacing as, x will be 2a minus t, this is 2a minus t into, and dx as minus dt, so this is minus. So again you can say 0 to a fx dx. Now if you are changing the minus, then their limits will change. So minus minus plus 0 to a f 2a minus a dt. Now using p0, variable is dummy, that's why t can be replaced by x without affecting the limit. So one may write 0 to a fx dx, 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So using p0, which is equal to right hand side as 2. So in this way you can prove what, integral for 0 to 2a fx dx can be broken in the easy limit. Here we are changing limit 2a to a and 0 to a. So that function will be solved. So this is also very important property P5. Now we have one more, that is P6. So property 6 is 0 to 2a, 0 to 2a fx dx. So that we have already proved. This is equal to twice of 0 to fx if condition this will be f of 2a minus x, that is equal to x, f of 2a minus x equal to fx, and this will be 0 if f of 2a minus x equal to minus x. So this is the conditional probability, conditional property of the definite integral. So as by using fifth one, this is the, we can say, particular case of the fifth, as both have left hand side same, 0 to 2a fx dx, 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to this. Clear? So by P5 we have property P पे 5 बार से 0 to 2a fx dx equal to 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. Now very easy, this condition is already given. Now if the value of this, that is f 2a minus x equal to fx, then it will be twice. So this will be 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a fx dx. If f of 2a minus x equal to fx, this is the function in this second f of 2a minus x is equal to fx. Then both are same integrals. That's why this is twice. So twice of 0 to a fx dx. And second case, where this value when f of 2a minus x equal to minus fx. So in this case, you can see this 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to 2. Now this value we have to replace by minus fx. Second condition, if f of 2a minus x given as minus fx. So this is replace minus. So what we get? 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fx dx plus minus 0 to a fx. So this is when f of 2a minus x is equal to minus fx. So now both are same but opposite sign. That's why this is 0. So this P6 is also very important. One may say P6 again we can form in easy by using the given condition, or you have to check the function. If the value of f of 2a minus x equal to fx, then it will be twice of 0 to a fx dx, and if f of 2a minus x equal to minus x fx, then it is 0. So now one more property P7, that is from minus a to a fx dx. This is also mostly used. Minus a to plus a fx dx is equal to twice of 0 to a fx dx. If now this is also a conditional probability, property of the definite integral. So if f is an even function. So in our classes you know the even function means f of minus x gives you fx, that is known as even function, and value of this will be 0. Minus a to a fx dx equal to 0 if f is odd function. Odd function means f of minus x equal to minus f. Clear? So this 7th property what say, you have to check either limit given from minus a to a fx dx. Then you have to check fx. Given function is an even, then this integral rewritten as twice of 0 to a fx dx. Or if it is a odd, then one may write directly 0. So there is no need to solve the definite integral. So by using properties only, one can say the given value of the definite is 0. Only you have to check the function or the integral is an odd function. So these are the some property which you have to revise this, and then you can be use or we solve the some example depending on these problems. Now to solve it, we have to check the value of the modulus function is negative at what point, and it is negative or so positive at what point. So you can say this value should be here fx is mod of x power 3 minus x. So mod means this should be positive. So value of x power 3 minus x and limit from minus 1 to 2. So the value of x power 3 minus x is greater than equal to 0. So x power 3 minus x is greater than equal to 0. If x is greater than equal to in between the point minus 1 to 0. Clear? So directly we can write x belongs minus 1 to 0. How we know this is 0? So for that you can factorize and simplify like x power 3 minus x. You take x common, so x square minus 1 equal to 0. So you can say either x equal to 0 or x equal to plus minus 1. So these are the points where we can define either the function is positive or negative. So x equal to 0 or x equal to 1. Clear? So now we can divide this limit because this limit is given from minus 1 to 2. But minus 1 to 2, if you are putting like minus 1 put here, then value of this will be, if you see roughly, minus 1 power 3 minus minus 12. So which is 0. That is positive value at x equal to minus 1. So we can call here x belongs to minus 1. So for minus this is positive, greater than 0. Then we take 0 also. If you take here 0, 0 minus 0, that is also 0. And the point between these two you can also check, like minus 0.5. If you take minus 0.5, at this also this is a positive. Clear? Because minus 0.5 cube, that is minus 1.25, and minus plus 0.5, that is positive. So in the interval this value is positive. From where? Minus 1 to, so this you can say here I equal to minus 1 to 2 integral of x power 3 minus x dx can be break into limit minus 1 to 0. First point we said minus 1 to 0, this is the positive. So we can remove modulus and direct write x power 3 minus x dx. Now 0 to, now we have upper limit 2. So again you can check the point for greater than 0, like here 0.5. If you put 0.5 in this, minus 0.5 power 3, that is 125 point and minus 0.5. So this is less than 0. If you check for 0.5, then this is negative. It means this is negative for the point 0 to 1. Because if you take here 1.5, then it is again positive. X equal to, if you take greater than 1, any number you take. So this is positive because 1.25 power 3 minus 1.2, power will be greater, positive. That's why we take this. Now this value of the x power 3 minus x, that is negative in this. So to remove this modulus or to make positive, we need here minus x power 3 minus x dx. And from 1 to 2, now you can take 2 here. 2 power 3, 8 minus 2, that is 6, which is positive. So in this interval, the value of this will remains positive. So you write x power 3 minus x. So this we are using the property P2, that is limit from a to b can be written as a to c, c to d, d to b. Limit can be break in 3 parts. Now why we are breaking the limit? Because according to the interval, the value of the function is positive, negative, positive. Now overall if you solve, this will give you positive, this will give you positive, this will be. Why positive we take? Because we are given the modulus function. So if we are knowing the modulus, then we have to confirm this value should be positive. That's why to convert into positive, we have to break the limit in 3 parts. So after that, you know that is the simple integration you can solve. So for first using the FTC. So integral of x power 3, that is x power 4 minus 4 x square by 2 and its limit minus 1 to 0 plus, now this is minus, so minus again integral of x power 3 4 by 4 x, again here limit 0 to 1 plus integral x power 3. So here important to make the interval correct, that should be very careful. After that you have to make calculation. Now you can use FTC. So upper limit minus lower limit. Here you can put 1 by 4, upper limit 0 power 4 minus 1 by power 4 minus 1 by 2, upper limit 0 minus lower limit. Then minus 1 by 4, upper limit, that is 1 power 4 minus lower limit, plus 1 by 4 upper limit, that is 2 power 4 minus 1 power 4. Then minus 1 by 2 upper limit minus lower limit. So this is the calculation for different function. We have to put the value for the limit and simplify. Is it? So minus, this is 0 minus 1 power 1, that is plus 1. Here minus 1 power 4, that is minus 1 by 4. So this is first. Here minus 1 power 2, that is 1 plus minus plus. So that is 1 by 2. We get plus 1 by 2. Similarly minus 1 minus 0 1, so minus 1 by 4. Then 2 power 4. That is 16 minus 1, 15. 15 by 4. Then 2 power 2, 4 minus 1, 3. So minus 3 by 2. Clear? So in this way, you can simplify. The answer will be finally, that will be 11 by 4. Calculate this. So this is the application of the properties of definite integral. Here we are using the property phi3. By using this phi2, we can find definite. So write down this. Next we have to say evaluate this is also important. Limit from minus 5 by 4 to plus 5 by 4. Function is given as sin square x. Now we have a property like minus a to a fx dx. We have property when you see the limit from minus a to plus a, then the value of this will be either 0 or either twice of 0 to a fx. So first of all you have to check either the given function is a even function or odd function. So we know that sine function is a odd function, but it's square. So you can say here fx equal to sine square x. So f of minus x, if you find sine of minus x whole square. So we know that sine of minus theta, that is minus sine theta, and its whole square. So minus square, that is that. So again we get fx. So we have property P7. So P7 what say? Minus a to a fx dx equal to g equal to twice of 0 to a fx dx. minus a to a fx dx equal to twice of 0 to a fx dx. If the function is an even, so we can write this as, so here I equal to minus pi by 4 to pi by 4 sin square x dx using P7 written as twice of 0 to a means pi by 4 sin square dx. Now you can easily integrate, square can be converted into multiple or product of the angle. So 1 minus cos 2x by 2. Clear? So we can write 2 upon 2, you can take common, 0 to pi by 4, 1 minus cos 2x dx. So integral of 1 is x, integral of cos 2x, that is sin 2x upon 2, and 0 to pi by 4. X minus sin 2x by 10. So you can put the value pi by 4 minus sin 2 into pi by 4, that is pi by 2 minus 0 minus minus plus sin 0. So sin pi by 2 is 1, that's why 1 by 2. So finally you get 4 pi by 2 minus 1 by 2 is the answer. So in this way we can, using the properties of the definite integral, the given integral will be in simplest form and that can be easily solved. So that's all for this. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.